And when you feel steady and comfortable, gently close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. With complete awareness, let us invoke sage Patanjali together. यस्त्यक्त्वा रूपमाद्यं प्रभवति जगतो अनेकधानुग्रहाय प्रक्षीणक्लेशराशिर्विषमविषधरो अनेकवक्त्रसुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपरिकर प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हि सहसो भव्यात् सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Gently bow your head down. Take a moment to revise what we have done in the previous session. Yes, where did we stop in the last class? Do you recall? Which sutra were we discussing? 19.
No, we were discussing 18, ma'am.
18, yes.
And we discussed.
And we completed 18?
We were discussing about Nadis, Ganga, Narmada. Ganga.
Yes. Yes.
We ended there.
This sutra also calls for 3 important pramana. So, if we discuss where pramanas have been talked about, it is Sutra 1.18. Which are the 3 pramanas? Pratyaksha. Pramana means proof of knowledge. Pratyaksha, direct experience.
You are not audible.
Then, Pratyaksha, Anumana, inference. Anumana, Pramana, inference. Then, Shabda Pramana, verbal testimony known as Apta Vachana. So, we discussed in the last session that Prakriti is the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas working themselves, superseding, superimposing on each other is evolution.
Ouais.
Tama.
Il y a vraiment l'accent indien.
We discussed the example of the tree finally in this verse. We discussed Apavarga, Bhoga and Apavarga. Now we can move on to the next sutra. We have chanted this sutra. We will chant it one more time. Vishesha, Vishesha,
Vishesha, Vishesha,
Linga,
Linga,
Matra, Lingani,
Matra, Lingani,
Guna Parvani. So we discussed Vishesha, particularized, Avishesha, unparticularized, Linga, distinctive, Matra, only, just or only, Alingani, indistinct, Guna, the three modifications, Paravani, stages. So the different stages of the Guna qualities consist of the particularized and unparticularized, the distinctive and indistinctive. So if we observe this verse, even before we enter this verse, we realize that the different tattvas of yoga philosophy have been discussed one after the other. So Sankhya has how many elements? How many does it have?
25.
Yes, 25. 25 elements we have discussed. You have to go through the Sankhya chart again. Yes, and 25. But yoga has one more. Which is that one more? Ishvara. All of you are on mute. Ishvara. Yes, Ishvara Tattva. So these 24 tattvas have been further broken down into 4 parts. Just make a note here. 24 tattvas have been broken down into 4 parts, and the 25th and 26th are separate from these 24. So out of the 26, what do we see? 24 are separated on one side and 2 are separated on the other side. Which are these 2? Ishvara Prani Dhanadva. So we discuss Ishvara Tattva there. Then one more we discuss, which is that Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra, Jiva. So Ishvara and Jiva Tattva both have been discussed. Ishvara Prani Dhanadva, and second Tattva we see Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. These 2 give us the knowledge of what is Jiva, difference between Jiva and Ishvara. For now, just make this distinction. So it will help us simplify and understand the sutras. Now, throughout the Yoga Sutras, all of these are expressed one by one in each of the sutras. So when we study, we should know, oh, this is Ishvara first discussed because it was a different one. Then the rest 25. And then one by one, there are sutras on all of these. So 2 are different and 24 are different. Now, out of the 24 also, there are, we see 4 categories. So make 4 categories out of the 24. These 24, first tattva. So out of the 24, there are 4 categories. In the first category, write Alinga or Pradhana. This is Moola Prakriti. Alinga or Pradhana. Because this sutra is discussing Linga. So we must know what is Linga and Alinga. So first, Moola Prakriti, known as Alinga or Pradhana. Then, out of the 4, second category, Mahat or Buddhi, known as Linga. Mahat or Buddhi, known as Linga. Linga means distinctive and Alinga indistinctive. Yes, have you written? First and second. Then 6 Avishesha, third category, write Avishesha, 6. Avishesha, unparticularized. Avishesha. And 16 Vishesha. Makes it 20. What are we doing? We are seeing the bifurcation and their categories. So take 2 minutes to observe what you have written. We have discussed Jiva and Ishvara. We have discussed Purusha and Ishvara. Rest 24 come under Prakriti and its evolutes. Out of the 24 also there are 4 categories we see. Which are the 4 categories? Please read. What have you written?
Mula Prakriti, Mahat or Buddhi as Linga. Prakriti was Alinga. Then Avishesha and 16 Vishesha.
Yes, 16 Vishesha. Now, we see here that the difference between Purusha and Prakriti is there is Purusha has bhoktritva. That means Purusha has the experience. And Prakriti has kartritva, doing. No understanding of what is going to be the effect of the evolution. So kartritva and bhoktritva. These are the 2 major differences.
Ma'am, can you please repeat it again? I didn't.
Yes. Purusha has bhoktritva. Bhoktritva, Purusha is the seer, enjoyer. Purusha is the seer, enjoyer. Bhog and apavarga. You recall we discussed in the last sutra. Yes, where are these 2 experiences? For whom? For Purusha. And Prakriti has kartritva. No consequence. Only doing. Only evolving. Now, just make 2 charts. We are seeing the differences and similarity. This is the first difference. Purusha and Prakriti. If you want to separate these 2, Purusha and Prakriti, we see intangible and tangible also one in English if you can write. But in Sanskritam, we see bhoktritva and kartritva. Everything comes under it. Yes. Now, the similarities. Let's see the similarities. Both are nitya. Means both are constant. Both are nitya or constant. And both are independent, swatantra, not dependent on each other. Both are independent, both are constant, both are from the beginning. Both are constant. Are we able to understand this? So when we talk about these 24, now can you tell me how these 24 will be as we unfold the sutras? Kartritva, there will be movement in this first. Then there will be nitya. That means they will be constant. And along with nitya, what will be there?
Independence.
Yes. And swatantra. Nitya and swatantra, independent. Therefore, when we realize from the 5 elements, we have to independently realize each of these tattvas. we come across an independent realization of all the gunas. One by one, they act separately. When you consume tea, it looks like one tea, but you can separate the taste of ginger, you can separate the taste of sugar, you can separate the taste of milk, you can separate the taste of water and all of it. So we saw even if these three gunas are together, they are separately experienced. Even if they are together, they are separately identified. And therefore, we see in the olden times also, these gunas were so dominant that they can come together, but they cannot mix with each other. They can come together for creation and destruction, but they will never mix. Therefore, we had the Varna Vyavastha. The reason for having Varna Vyavastha was the same. This pure understanding that the qualities of a person will remain distinct. And if there is mixture of qualities, that means if there is Varna Sankara, the lowest quality will be picked, not the highest. It later became caste system due to inheritance. But what was the original idea? Why do we say do not mix the seeds of two trees? Because what fruit will come out of it and what disease that crop will have and what will be its effect after you eat, after the mutation of the genes, you have no idea about it. And high chances that they are more towards the tamasic side than the sattvic side. Because it's easy, the mind to drop down is always easy than to hold itself. Do we now understand? Therefore, when we have mutation of crops and genes, when we look at the crops, hybrid variety as we call it. Now, diseases are such that we are unable to understand the present things in diseases in humans. What is seen because of eating such crops? Disease is not detected. A person falls ill. You do all the blood tests. All the blood tests are going to be normal. Which means what? There has been the mutation of cells and genes at such a level that we are unable to comprehend what is wrong with the body. And it has come from the mixing of the crop. So very, very deep-seated logic. In animals also. If you see, whenever there is mixed breeding of any of the animals, the constitution of the next breed is going to be weak. Whatever is the product of that mixture of the breed, that animal is going to be weak and fragile. Not stronger. So coming back to gunas, what we understand, sattva, raja, tama are independent. They work together, they act together, but they don't mix together. And if there is a mixture by any chance attempted, a lower guna will be carried out of the both. Seldom the higher guna is taken. Seldom, once, one occasion, sometime. So, when we talk about the particularized, the Vishesha, starting from the last category, the 16, they are all the final evolutes of Prakriti. That is end products. They are not going to produce any further, the 16. Vishesha, 16, end products. There is no further evolution of the gunas. There is no further understanding beyond this. Everything that is seen in the universe will be a part of the three gunas. The second, for us, the third, we see the Avishesha are the ones which produce further. avishesha. Evolutes that do produce further products or evolutes out of themselves. So if we look at the Sankhya chart, what will we see? The gross elements, ether, air, fire, water, earth, are the particularized aspects. Particularized or Vishesha. There is no further evolution. That is under Tamas. Take a moment, just grasp this. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. Just go through what we have discussed.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Normally, people have all the three gunas together, right? Like something is dominant and the other things are less dominant. So how they work independently? Like you told, even if they were mixed, the lower gunas will be carried. But like I did not understand. Like all the gunas are there, present in all the person. So sometimes one guna like sattvic guna
Yes,
is much higher than the
yes,
tamasic or rajasic. So
for
how
this, you will have to go through the past 2-3 recordings. You have the answer there. Have
Oh,
you done
okay.
the past 2-3 yet?
I have done few, not like first 2-3, like not all the.
For the last, before this, just go through 2 recordings. You will have the
Okay.
answer because the last sutra is completely based on the very question that you are seeking. So we
Okay.
just go through this today night if possible, and then you
Yeah.
connect over a call or just write to me. Let's see how we can discuss that further.
Okay. Okay.
So once we write this and once you listen to that, it will be more clear to you.
And
Okay.
I'll go through that today.
Yes. So now Vishesha, Avishesha, is this understood by us? What is Vishesha and Avishesha? Just take 2 minutes, go through all that we have discussed, the categories mentally, close your eyes and try to remind yourself step by step. Then we discuss the about to.
Ma'am, can
Yes.
I ask?
Yes, Jiren.
Can you explain Vishesha, Avishesha? I didn't understand it clearly.
Vishesha, Avishesha. Can you just think of the Sankhya chart? In Sankhya, what we see? Purusha, Prakriti, Mahat or Buddhi. After that, Ahamkara. Then we have out of the Ahamkara, Sattva, Rajatama. Under Sattva, we have Manas, Jnanendriya, Karmaendriya. Then we have Rajas. Then we have Tamas. Under Tamas, we have the Panchamahabhuta and Tanmatras.
So this comes in Vishesha?
Now, let's track it backwards. We had written Mool Prakriti as the first.
Yeah.
Yes. This was Alinga. Mool Prakriti. First Alinga. Then Mahat or Buddhi was called as Linga. Alinga, Linga. Then the remaining 16 and 6 are Vishesha, Avishesha. So 4 categories. Linga, Alinga, Vishesha, Avishesha.
Yeah, got it, ma'am.
And Manas is also considered as organ, okay? Manas. The mind also considered as organ. Therefore, it will also fall in the same category.
So, ma'am, so under Vishesha, the 6 Vishesha, no, the 6 Avishesha will be Ahamkara, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Ahamkara, Manas. But then we have 5, not 6. And also Indriyas of cognition.
So, what we can do is, we will take the Sankhya chart and try to elaborate this further tomorrow. I will try to have a Sankhya chart in front of us and explain through it. Give me some time to prepare, where I think it will be clear for the most of us. For now, just allow the Shabda Sanskara to stay with us. That this is Linga, this is Alinga, this is Vishesha, this is Avishesha. Just allow the Shabda Samskara to be there. Tomorrow with the screen, we will try to understand it on the Sankhya chapter.
Okay, thank you.
Because we see Sankhya and Yoga are closely connected. And for each of these tattvas, we are going to have one sutra. So you will get the phala of Yoga Sutra. You can say that I have understood Sage Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. When you understand these all sutras, 26 together, you understand them, not at the level of Shabda Samskara, not at the level of Artha Sanskara. Understand means you embody them, you realize those tattvas. Each one of them independently you are able to experience, independently able to experience the ego sense, ahamkara, independently able to experience the working of the mind as an observer, the state of mind, independently able to experience the subtle instances of intelligence you have when you are in pure sattva. And how will you know? When you are in silence, the thoughts will be sattvic. They will never be tamasic. They will never be imaginary. They will be pure experience. So I recall in the further Yoga Sutras, we will see the prasad of Swadhyaya. Sage Patanjali, even in Vibhuti-pada, goes on saying what happens when you do Nitya Swadhyaya. Ishta Devata start helping you out. You know, Ishta Devata prakat hote. They are always by your side. And I think apart from my husband, I'm just sharing this with you. 2 days back, something happened. We had a power cut and my phone drained off. And I rise early in the morning, and somehow, because I had slept very late working and doing other things that day, due to the treatment also, I was not feeling fine. So it took some time for me. And there was a time for sadhana, just 10 minutes left. And I do the sadhana in Brahma Muhurta after taking shower and shaucha completely. So in that moment, I literally felt somebody tapping me and asking me to wake up. There is no alarm. I'm in deep sleep. And I just for a moment thought it's my father, because he wakes up with me. And I said, Baba, but I can't see him anywhere. And tapped me, and I can actually feel the presence of a person standing. I woke up, not tired. I just slept for 2 hours, no inch of tiredness. And I see the button of the geyser is on. How will and whom will I explain this? The moment I'm sharing this with you, I'm having goosebumps. It's such a pure experience that I can, whenever I'm writing now, I will add this to it. That, you know, somebody wakes a child up from sleep, that get up, 10 minutes, you have to get up and do your sadhana. So believe me, the Ishta Devata themselves wake you up. No, you don't have to worry about anything. And I woke up smiling, such joy in my heart. I said, for the first time, apart from my parents, there is somebody who is looking out for me. I'm not seen. And I had this fragrance moving. So where I sleep, on the head side, there is a window behind. So I literally felt that tap, you know, that it's time for wake up. Your phone is not there. And if you have meditation class, then you have another class, 5:30 meditation. Then you have another class lined up. So you will miss it out of care. Just 10 minutes before. So 2 hours of sleep was needed maybe for my mind, and woke up. So when I share this with you, there are waves of happiness of experience. And why is this experience? Because out of the 24 hours, 16 to 17 hours of the day, all I'm doing is manana. And rest of the time is I'm doing shravana. Even Swamiji is not there. I have the, kind Guru Bandhu there who record the session for me, and whatever is the small discourse, and I hear it every day. So this is Ishvara Prasada. When I come to you with this text, I have experienced many magical things, many unexplainable things, which I can just invite you to experience with me. So this, when every minute of the day, when you feel this, Ishvara themselves come to wake you up saying there is Gita part. Now wake up, others are waiting for you to join the Gita. This realization comes with this samarpan, absolute surrender. And really, for the first time, I felt apart from my parents, oh, I have, the creator. Why do I worry? I have the entire creation taking care of me. So what is written here, it's very, very powerful. And like I said, this is with experience. It is not a mere imaginary text. These are the experiences of the yogi and the sweetness of having this experience, especially in Brahma Muhurta. Very, very strong experience which will always stay with me. Just 2 days, day before yesterday. So when you rise up early, when you are doing your sadhana in the morning, what is sadhana? You do your japamala. You do Om japamala. Don't go for very big rituals, very big sadhana. Start small, what is doable for you. Be in purity, take bath. Somebody is angry around you, be there. Don't leave them. But don't allow that to disturb your mind and you respond in anger. If they are angry, okay, sit for 5 minutes, take 2 glasses of water, give them one, and you also have one. Sometimes you cannot help people even when you see they're walking towards darkness. But you can always be the reminder of light in their life, telling them that they can come back to you when you're ready or when they are ready. When you are in absolute light, each person makes a mistake. Every person realizes that mistake. But when a yogi looks at this, what did we see? Heyam dukkham anagatam. Not the present suffering. Next suffering of that person is seen by the yogi. So you are seeing the suffering this person is going to meet next. Therefore, what do? You still welcome them. Even after the mistake, if they come back to you, you are still the source of light because that's all you are. You cannot be anything else. The karuna, the compassion in the heart must be very, very strong. Just to start practicing this. Everywhere, you are so untouched. And when you are also practicing these 4 outside and you are doing the sadhana, you are doing the swadhyaya, and with complete heart, you have surrendered yourself as the instrument of Ishvara, then you get these experiences of, actually you will write, that you will share it with me, that ma'am, Brahma Muhurta, I'm waking up every day and I've just decided to surrender. I've just decided to be the light, no matter who I'm meeting in life. Whichever direction they're going, I'm just a reminder for them to come and meet me back. See, always the flame will have darkness around it. The flame should know I am the flame, I am the light in the room, should not look at the darkness around. So when we are in samsara, all of us together, and there is darkness around, we must know that's why we are planted there as light, because there was darkness around. There was some karma bandhan with the family members, with our ancestors. Something had to be done in that lineage. So you are the one who is going to change your entire lineage, the karmic transactions, by walking the spiritual path. You are the one who is going to write this spiritual history of your family. First one to do that. First one to be ever kind, compassionate and loving, ever forgiving. Go, you can do whatever you want. I am still going to forgive you. What power anybody will have? He has it. So these evolutes of Prakriti, each one of them, Manas. The moment you observe the Manas, you will feel it's a 5-year-old child looking at colorful objects and running from here and there and having so many questions which are unnecessary. The mind is like that, a 5-year-old child. It will always give you questions without having to work, without seeing what is happening around. It will always run from one object to other. So your mind, when you experience it, you will feel like there is one child inside me. I need to quieten this child very much. Where from, how do you feel there is a child inside you? Who is the one who is most curious? It is your mind. And who is afraid of the dark? The children are afraid of the dark. So how is your mind feeling? Again and again. Objects which are not known, things which are not experienced will always feel fearful to the mind. So when you connect this mind, understanding the ahamkara and the buddhi with cosmic intelligence, then the mind pacifies. So it's our responsibility to observe. Like children, like a small child will be scared even to walk from one room to the other. Everything is scary. It will always look up for any intelligence of that situation. Similarly is our. So this observation, when you start doing about yourself and you realize, oh, when I'm listening to the Shastras, just like a small child listening to the stories from the mother, from the Guru, feels so good, feels so pacified. So this experience we also get from our teachers or Guru. Just like a mother narrates a story to the child while going to bed, the child forgets all the fears and clutches, strongly to whatever the mother is saying. The story time is the best time. That is the time of imagination. That is the time for the child to accept and believe. That is the time for the child to surrender. So similarly, when we are in Shastra Shravana with our Guruji, what happens? Our state of mind, our mind, which is the child I call, is the same. It opens its possibilities of imagination and experiences in life. It starts believing everything is possible and magical around me. It starts trusting in surrender that now I am taken care. And just like the mother's voice is very soothing for this child, similarly we feel in the presence of the Guru, like the story is being narrated or the Shastra Shravana, Upanishadic Shravana is happening. So we can at least start with this Vishesha, Avishesha. Start observing the mind as the organ, the very child within us. If you have any questions, you may ask. So tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, all of these will be explained in detail. Avishesha, Vishesha, Linga, and so with the chart. I think it will be easy. These are so profound understandings and concepts that even if I wish to, every day, every session for the part I decide, today I am going to cover 3 sutras at least. Today I am going to at least talk about 2 sutras. Hardly I get from 1 to 2 because there is so much for me to share related to the sutra itself that if I do not share it with you, I feel it will be incomplete. So whatever has come from my Guru, until I share all of it with you, I cannot move ahead until it becomes in you, not just listening at the word, that you recall this part. Oh, I studied this, I heard this, and yes, it is like that. So some sessions, for some at least this chapter, are still going to be slow, but we will try to ensure that we also take 3, 4, whatever sutras we can. But according to me, I think we will not go beyond 2 or 3 anytime. Ji, please ask if you have any questions.
Just very grateful to be able to find you, Guruji. That's it. I don't have any words to show my gratitude right now. I'm sure with everyone it's the same. Thank you so much. That in such a stage we were able to find you.
Yes, because this is Ishvara wanted you to have this knowledge. And we could then therefore find each other. Because in Rishikesh, neither I'm promoting in a way where anybody will study and nor they can find me. So if this is for you, that means I think this was only for you. Hardly anybody will get any access to any of these next 5 years. So next 5 years, take the most that you can from me. Until then, I start the Mauna and other journey for myself. 2-3 years, then I will be in silence. At least that's a sankalpa. Let's see that goes. If Ishvara says you still have to take the part, I will have to continue. Which reminds me, next month from 9th to 18th, I shall be in Vipassana. So we shall not be having part, but I would request at least one of us to take the lead and chanting all the first and second chapter. So if we have the part dates, 2 days, my Sandeep ji will organize the meeting for us. He will start the meeting for us. And all of us will do the chanting of both the chapters, even if I am not there. So all of you can decide and please do the chanting. We conclude today's session. Oh, Ji, sorry. Yes, Siddesh.
So one question, and what is the thing that can for surrender, Ishvara Pranidhana? I understand the concept, and I think I'm always there. My spiritual path began with devotion, so surrender is nothing new. But sometimes, still my ego comes out in between. Like I think I can control this, I can handle this. Somewhere, like I don't need to bother God about it. But I later on speaking to many people, I understand that this is majority of them actually, like the control is a lot. So I see now I want to understand in spiritual path, what is that thing that comes in between each pair of pranimas, like surrender, whether it is mahat or whether it is ego.
Ahamkara. So with the guru, what you do, you keep the mind aside and ahamkara aside. You only observe the Shravana as pure mahat. Allow to connect at, you have choice to connect at the senses level, first choice with the teacher. So you look at the physicality, you look at the how big is the classroom, you have everything. The senses are very distracted observing the learning environment. Second choice we have is through doing selective learning. So only one aspect of the teacher you focus on, the learning environment you focus. Third, you connect with the teacher intellectually. That means you try to understand the concepts or the tattva, concept known as tattva in spiritual parlance. So to understand the tattva, you do a lot of debate, reasoning, logic, and you try to understand it from your own experiences. So whatever is being shared in the part, you again and again go back to your own personal experiences. That is, you do it through the mind. Then next, ego sense is ahamkara. So any which of the one is dominant, you say, I already know this, or you say, I don't know this, or I've heard this. So I is still there. And finally, you connect from the heart, which is pure buddhi. You observe the learning process as something you know, maybe, but something you have not yet experienced. The cosmic power or spiritual strength. So there are different levels of also connecting and bringing ourselves to the learning environment. So what comes in between of surrender are all of these. So the faith that I am taken care. Every day this positivity that I am not, if I'm listening to the Shastras or Shravana, very guaranteed I'm not doing anything wrong, for sure. I still don't know whether it's the right thing to do or best thing to do, but I'm very certain that I'm being saved from being on any, I would say, a path which is not going to bring me peace. Or at least I am not wrong or right, I would say, but a path which I don't know the direction. So many people have walked this path, and therefore I feel this path is okay. So even if I am only in the learning environment, at least I'm saved from everything else. This feeling it will bring the faith in our heart that what I'm doing is not wrong. I don't know whether it's best for me. I know it's right. I know it's wrong. I still don't know if this is the best experience of my life, but I'm doing the right thing. So this constant reminder in the heart instills faith and gratitude. When we practice faith and gratitude, surrender naturally comes. And surrender only cannot happen in the learning environment with the guru. Surrender must come to every person. If somebody around us is telling us something in the family, the faith must be there. See, every human is going to make mistakes in your family also. But that doesn't mean you judge their advice or opinion regarding you based on their mistakes. Maybe that call is coming out from their end because they don't want you to make the same mistake. So this faith and surrender must happen externally. And how? Even if you start from the senses level, at least choose one thing, that I'm eating this in Bhojana. I have faith in this food that I will never feel a stomach pain after eating this. A very small step. I'm wearing this. I have faith that this looks best on me. So start from the senses, then slowly come to environment, then slowly come to the environment. This is one way you can follow.
And last thing, I think we would love to chant, but I think for Samadhi Pada, could you please help us record the? I'm confident until like 30 sutras. Past that, I'm not really confident about the pronunciation. Please help us record the whole sutras, please.
Okay,
Yep.
so Wednesday, shall we have a chanting class? Only Yoga Sutra chanting. Let's try to have 2 extra sessions next week. Only chanting. Before I again leave for Rishikesh, we will complete the chanting sessions. And I have been meaning to record it, but somehow I think it has to happen now. Otherwise, it would have happened long back. So I think we have to do it together. We can record the entire chanting session where everybody is chanting, and it will be saved on the drive, so you can access it anytime. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I bow down in gratitude to my Guruji and in the joy of still being a student, always being his student, a Shishya for life. Hari Om. Gently lift your head up. Open your eyes, extend your eyes. Namaste. We meet again tomorrow.